And ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to please find your seats, we're set to get underway. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my fellow senior executive, Sharon Gullius, at the front door, our management team and our board of directors, very pleased you could join us for the tradition of the official draw for post positions for the 76th running of this historic Manitoba Derby presented by Manitoba Liquor Lotteries. Before we officially get underway, we do want to respectfully acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 territory and that the land on which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Anisininew, Dakota, Lakota, and Dene peoples and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. We acknowledge the many relationships that make up our home and commit to a spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration, and to actions on that commitment for the future. I hope you took a moment or will take a moment to have a look at the memorabilia that was connected to the Manitoba Derby in our Racing Through Time history collection at the back of the room. Assiniboia Downs historian Bob Gates so thoughtfully puts this together each year carefully, and it's truly a walk down memory lane. To begin today and to bring greetings from the City of Winnipeg, I'd like to now call upon His Worship, the Mayor of Winnipeg, Scott Gillingham, also joined with greetings from the City is City Councillor Evan Duncan, the Councillor for Charleswood, Tuxedo Westwood, the ward that Assiniboia Downs falls into. Gentlemen.
Well, hello everybody. It is great for Councillor Duncan and I to be joining you here today. It's just such an honor to be here on a beautiful day back at Assiniboia Downs. As we prepare for one of the most exciting events, annual events in the city and in Manitoba, and that of course is the running this time of the 76th Manitoba Derby. MLA Nellie Kennedy, good to see you as well. It's great to be here with Darren, the CEO of the Downs, and Dr. Norman Elder, the entire board, the team of the Jockey Club. And a special welcome on behalf of Councillor Duncan, myself, and all of our City Council to all of you who've traveled from outside of Winnipeg. I know there are many of you that are here as owners and trainers and team members who come from outside of Winnipeg, outside of Manitoba. We're really, really glad that you're here and hope that you enjoy your time. I know you're focused on the Derby and the races, but hopefully you enjoy your time in our great city and great province as well. I had the pleasure of being here for the special launch of the live race season in May, and once again it was absolutely packed with crowds on opening night taking in the races, including the Indian Horse Relay Race, Darren, which was a great success, and the raising of the Treaty 1 flag. So congratulations to everyone involved in the Downs, all the staff. By the way, the staff here do an outstanding job every day you're here. So can we congratulate and thank the staff of the Downs as well? Thank you. Just quickly, I'll let you know that for those of you that may not realize, this year is Winnipeg's 150th anniversary as a city. And so we've been doing a lot to celebrate our city. But one of the things that makes Winnipeg such a great community is the diversity not only of people and people groups, but the diversity of activities and focuses and sectors. And certainly all that goes on here at Assiniboia Downs, specifically the horses, the horse racing, and all that is included with that makes Winnipeg such an attractive place to be. And so thank you to everyone who's playing their part, including all the sponsors as well that make the race season possible. As we look forward to the 76th running of the Derby, I certainly want to express my gratitude to everyone who has worked so hard in advance of this weekend to make this event a success. So thank you for your commitment. We know that this has a great economic impact also on our city and our province, and so we're really glad to see everyone participating in every way. And I want to wish everybody success. I really do. I wish you just great success. And obviously, my heart is kind of with the home horse, the horse from home, right? Bred here in Manitoba. But certainly, want to wish everybody a great weekend as well. Thank you again for everybody's participation here today. I want to turn it over to Councillor Duncan for a couple of comments as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to Darren and his team for hosting this great event. It's with great pride that this is hosted for such a long period of time in the ward of Charleswood, Tuxedo, and Westwood. It gives our residents a great sense of pride that the Downs is located in this area. We're so proud to make sure that these big events continue to be important, not only for Winnipeg, but Manitoba, and in the 76th running of the Manitoba Derby, it will continue to be a cornerstone, not only to horse racing in Manitoba and Winnipeg, but to summer in Manitoba and Winnipeg. So thank you again. Appreciate the opportunity here, Mr. Mayor, to have some words. And Darren, thank you very much for the invite. And good luck to everybody on Monday. Thank you very much.
Terrific words. Well done. Thank you, gentlemen. I'd like to now call upon our MLA, the MLA for Assiniboia, the lovely and talented Nellie Kennedy, to bring greetings from the province.
Hi, everyone. So, as Darren said, my name is Nellie Kennedy, and I am the MLA for Assiniboia, so it's a real pleasure to be here. This is one of my very favorite places to be, and it's such a gem being in Assiniboia here at Assiniboia Downs. I just love coming here with my family, watching the races, and just enjoying all of the wonderful activity that is here. So it's obviously my pleasure to be here on behalf of Minister Glenn Simard and my colleagues in the legislature. I would also like to acknowledge that we're on Treaty 1 territory and in the homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. Similarly to His Worship, I was here back in May as well, and I had the privilege of joining everyone here for the kickoff of the 2024 season of live thoroughbred racing. And now I'm honored to be here and join you all for the post-position draw for this year's most prestigious race, the 76th running of the Manitoba Derby. And of course, it's presented by Manitoba Liquor Lotteries. So on Monday, we will see an exciting display of speed, skill, and determination as the horses fly down the track. And I want to extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who has played a role in making today possible. The owners, the trainers, jockeys, and every individual whose dedication fuels the success of this event. Your passion for horse racing and commitment to excellence inspires us all. So let us embrace the thrill of the races, celebrate the camaraderie of this occasion, and cheer loudly for our favorites as they go chasing down the track. May the best horse and rider prevail, and may this year's Manitoba Derby be remembered as yet another chapter in our storied racing history. Thank you, and let the 76th running of the Manitoba Derby begin.
Finally and importantly, I'd like to now call upon Mr. Jerry Sewell, the President and Chief Executive Officer of our very valued Manitoba Derby corporate sponsor, Manitoba Liquor Lotteries. Jerry?
Thank you, Darren, and good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see everybody out here on this fine day. I do want to acknowledge the distinguished guests we have, so MLA Nellie Kennedy, His Worship, Mayor Gillingham, and of course Councillor Duncan, who's here with us today. So, it's nice to see them kind of take time out of their day, recognizing how special, today's event is for ourselves. So at this event, obviously, it's August. The weather is warm, mid-season. The Derby hats are out, the Derby ladies are present. Of course, the buffet's roaring and ready to go kind of thing, but it's a really special time of the year. It's the 76th running of the Manitoba Derby, and we're so proud to be a part of this. At Manitoba Liquor Lottery, again, we've supported the Manitoba Jockey Club and Assiniboia Downs for so many years. And it's not just supporting them, but it's also the privilege to be associated with the Manitoba Derby that's coming up this weekend. When you look at it, it's kind of had such a storied past. When you look back, it was run at Polo Park for so many years. It was in St. Boniface at Whittier Park, a lot of excitement there. And it's even been graced with royalty. And it's not just Darren Dunn and Sharon Gullias. It's been graced with, other royalty. So, the Queen was here. I think Princess Anne was here one time. And even the current King of England, was actually present here. So, again, there's a lot of history around this race. And that's, again, what makes it so special. When we look at the Assiniboia Downs, they do so much for community in Manitoba. Again, not only, they put us on the map as a tourist destination, but they also, are a great entertainment facility that's accessible to all. Again, it caters to all ages, free parking, free admission. I don't think there's anything in Winnipeg that's free. At the end of the day, so, we're privileged to have that opportunity to grace ourselves here and kind of enjoy the sport of horse racing in Manitoba. So as we kind of, look forward to the weekend, again, I'm wishing you great weather, a great day, and for all the work that goes in, not only the jockeys, the handlers, all the people at Assiniboia Downs who put on, such a great event. We wish you well, and I am looking forward to seeing you on Derby Day. So thank you.
Tremendous words, very supportive. Thank you. We love our relationship. So, ladies and gentlemen, in your press kit on the cover, just drawing your attention there for a moment, as per tradition, we're pleased to recognize the winner from last year's Manitoba Derby, Manodura, for very supportive Texas-based owner, Mr. Henry Witt Jr., the reigning leading owner by wins and purse money at Assiniboia Downs. He was trained by Jerry Gorno. Multiple Assiniboia Downs champion jockey Antonio Whitehall was successful in the saddle last year. Then we draw your attention to the inside cover for a pictorial history, look back, and we find the milestone anniversary winners of the Manitoba Derby 25 years ago, 35 years ago, notably a horse co-owned by Harvey Warner in Rough Catch, and also the winner from 50 years ago. So again, a little bit of a look back, and a special thanks to our historian, Mr. Bob Gates, for assembling those historical photos. Then just a reminder about the trophy on the table here today, and Jerry touched on it a bit there. Our version of the Stanley Cup, as we like to say, presented to the champion horse of the Manitoba Derby, a trophy that was first presented in 1970 by none other than the Queen of England herself at the time, Elizabeth, to the winner of the Manitoba Derby, and very importantly was donated by the Queen to stay right here in Manitoba for annual competition in this race, and hence the name it received, the Queen's Cup, that it holds to this day. So, an enormous amount of history revolves around this trophy, and fittingly, it is presented to the winner of our biggest race of the season on Monday night. An announcement we are so pleased to finally make, and really need to make before moving forward, essentially the elephant in the room, or I'm going to say perhaps in our industry, the Clydesdale in the room. And that is that, as a brief reminder, we, and some of you are aware of this, or probably many of you, we've been under a federal horse quarantine since June the 14th for a viral issue that was professionally dealt with immediately at that time, but it left an overhang of almost overkill review, I will say, and choose my words carefully, overkill review and restriction. But in saying that, we of course complied to the letter of what we needed to, no question about that. But unfortunately, it did cost us the ability to repeat participation in a very exciting collaborative effort of Manitoba and the provinces of Alberta and British Columbia, a Western Canadian Derby series that we launched last year that combined the Manitoba Derby as the first leg, followed 3 weeks later by the Canadian Derby at Century Mile in Edmonton, 3 weeks later, followed by the BC Derby at Hastings Racecourse in British Columbia. So it's a series we do hope to return in 2025, and something that we are very proud of in a collaborative effort with Western Canadian Horse Racing. In saying all of this, the horse quarantine could only be lifted after a 45-day waiting period through a final mass testing of all on-site horses and a negative result for virus detection. While the mass testing took place this past Monday, expedited tests and results were accumulated this week, all coming back negative. So we proudly, finally can say the quarantine is lifted. It's back to business as usual for horses participating at Assiniboia Downs, both locally and very importantly to our economy in Winnipeg and Manitoba, those participating from outside of this province. And it's reflected on Monday. The timing was incredibly tight, but a 9-horse Manitoba Derby field, a 9-horse Escape Clause field, and a 9-horse Harvey Warner Memorial Stakes could not be possible with that quarantine still in place. So with it lifted, full fields, and a great opportunity for wagering and revenue growth on Monday. Moving on. Now I have to ask, who wants to be a millionaire? And I'm not trying out for a game show. Who doesn't? Good answer. Well, it could be somebody, certainly you, or somebody on Monday, where we have a mandatory payout of a building carryover wagering pool. It's called the Jackpot Pick 5. So to win the entire pool, you have to be the only person to successfully select 5 race winners in 5 specific races we have identified on our live race days. And now, to be very clear, many people have successfully selected those 5 winners in a row, but the key is, again, you have to be the unique only person to do it to win the entire jackpot prize. Otherwise, a portion of the wagering each night carries over to the next race day and the next race day to see if we find a unique winner. Well, on Monday on our race calendar, nobody has cracked that code to win that jackpot since late May, so it has continued to build, and we're going to pay it out in a mandatory way on Monday. In other words, the entire carry forward of the jackpot right now, $444,576 is sitting there waiting to find a home. Add the wagering for that bet on Monday night, which we think will be $1 to $2 million. And needless to say, somebody could walk out of here Monday night as a millionaire. Having said that, if many people do it, they will share that huge wagering pool equally, and we're certainly excited to see how that turns out. So that adds to the flavor on Monday night. So ladies and gentlemen, though we are here to talk about the Manitoba Derby on Monday, but many of you know, we also have, as I noted, 2 other very special stakes races on Monday. The Escape Clause Stakes, named after the most successful and iconic racehorse of all time here in Manitoba, a horse who won over $1 million in her racing career. And we're also featuring the Harvey Warner Memorial Stakes to recognize the multi-decade contributions of our previous board chair, who left us unexpectedly in early March of 2022, and we certainly will never forget him. His family has returned this year to again be a part of the presentation of the trophy in his name. And ladies and gentlemen, we're also pleased to announce today that in conjunction with the Winners Foundation, the Manitoba Horsepersons Organization, the HPBA, and the Manitoba Jockey Club, this Sunday, little offsite if you will, there will be a sign and a park area dedication to Harvey Warner in our backstretch barn area to fittingly continue to recognize a very important contributor to our industry over the years. So before we move forward with a look at the contenders for Monday night's main event, I would like to proudly take a brief moment to reflect on the race from last year, recognize and remind you the horse who came out on top in this challenging race in 2023. So with that, I direct your attention to the television monitors. Here are the final moments of that race, and a winner named Manitoba.
The half mile, a quick 47 and 3/4, 11 and 4, and heroic move. With the lead by a length, Manodura digging deep in second, Sheboy. Back to third on the outside, they hit the head of the lane, and heroic move, running big, Manodura looks them in the eye. These two, a 16th of a mile to go. Manodura is going to give Henry Witt Jr. his first Manitoba Derby. Second best heroic move. Third is going to go to Sheepway.
You know, if Kurt could only bring some excitement to the microphone. Wonderful race call. So, now to the horses for our premier event of the racing season. And first off, as others before me have said, we'd like to recognize our very special and guests involved with them, the trainers, their staff, the grooms, the exercise riders, those who have worked so hard to reach this pinnacle opportunity, the jockeys who are included in this elite group. They carry the pressure on their shoulders while we sit back live and watch, and certainly and very importantly, the owners of the horses who have stepped up with their best efforts and created this opportunity for themselves. It's so hard to get to this race. So many things have to align to have this opportunity. So congratulations in advance to all. We look forward to a safe and exciting race. So now it's time to recognize the tradition that is the Manitoba Derby for, as mentioned, the incredible 76th time, back to the first running as listed in your programs in 1930. The math obviously doesn't add up. There was a brief period there in the mid-50s, but ultimately it's a tradition that continues very proudly here at Assiniboia Downs on Monday night. So, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to the field of horses for Monday's Manitoba Derby, brought to you by Manitoba Liquor Lotteries, we're so pleased to welcome to the podium the television faces and voices of our dynamic duo handicapping team, Kurt and Stretch. Each night they diligently try and pick winners for the public, and we certainly always encourage you, tune in early before the races for ASD Live. It's a program where Kurt and Stretch will run through their picks for the entire race card in addition to their handicapping that they do very insightfully in between races. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the field, here is Kurt and Stretch.
Thank you very much, Darren.
I sorry to interrupt there, Kurt. Ouch.
Yeah, imagine that.
Ouch, Darren. Try and pick winners? We do pick winners. Well,
There's no doubt about that.
I do. But anyway, go on.
Oh, come on now, Stretch. I picked the odd one.
You do.
And you bet on it, too.
You do. All right. Ready?
Once I grab my glasses. Well, me and Stretch, we do bring 75 plus years of racing experience to the table. Probably between us, $75,000 to $100,000 or 100,000 races that we have watched. Didn't wager on all of them, but quite a few. We're not rich by it, so if you go by our picks, we're gonna have good days, we're gonna have bad days, but undoubtedly you're gonna have fun, including Derby Day. And what a field we have, Stretch. 9 horses going to post. Yes, we didn't fill the gate with 12 horses, but the 9 horses that are going to post all can win this race, and I think it's just going to be a fabulous one.
Absolutely, Kurt. I agree with you. Very competitive. If the horses get the right trip, I think they can all win it.
That's what it's all about. Well, let's get to the field right now, and we're going to start it off in alphabetical order with Awesome Road. Owned by Arnold Benowith, Rick Wiest, Clayton Wiest, Lana Wiest, David Wiest, R6 Stables, Gary Kropp, Norman Tremblay, and Jeff Van Nistelrooy, trained by Rick Weiss with jockey Antonio Whitehall. This is a horse that was at Oaklawn Park and made a brief stop in Texas. But what this horse does bring to the race is some serious class. The horses that it's raced against are some of the top, not only in Canada they would be, but they're the tops in North America. This ownership group, part of it at least, did win the Manitoba Derby in 2018.
Yeah, all valid points there, Kurt. The breeding's not going to be a problem with the distance. Absolutely can go the distance. You called it at Oaklawn Park. As tough a competition as you can in North America. I really like watching the replays we'll get to in a second, just the turn of foot on how this horse closes.
Yeah, it definitely is. So let's go.
So I'll just tune up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cut me off again.
Yep.
Imagine that.
So this horse is on the inside in the replay when you're watching it. What I like to see, and you can watch in the replay, horse battles back along the rail and kind of refused to pass. So you'll see it on the replay.
Anything else, Stretch?
No, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, number 1, Awesome Road. If you could look at your television monitors, here is Awesome Road.
Awesome Road and Stronghold, they continue to spar for the lead. Now back into third is Chrysler. All of a sudden, Loma could not kick on. From the backfield, running on Evening News, top at home stretch, and Stronghold grabs away the lead, but still fighting on down at the fence is the favorite Awesome Road. These two nip and tuck with a furlong to go. To the inside, Awesome Road shaken up on a tenuous lead. Stronghold is full bore, trying to press on past with 1/16 to get Awesome Road holding Stronghold at bay. And Awesome Road, good-looking performance here on debut, wins by almost 3 in the end. Stronghold was second. It was a mile back to Time Song, who got up for third.
And that will be the probable favorite in the Manitoba Derby. Next up, Bricklayer, owned by Larry Gorno Jr. and trained also by Larry Gorno Jr. Jockey Luis Fuentes, the leading rider at Canterbury, will be in attendance and get the mount on Bricklayer. Bricklayer comes out of Kentucky Racing at Churchill Downs, where it was claimed or bought for $30,000 out of a race, immediately won for a $50,000 maiden race, and then came back, ran a good race in Minnesota at Canterbury, and that was a tenacious win, Stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Clearly, Larry saw something in those early races, makes a smart claim in there, and then from the claim just improves the horse to win back-to-back, looking for the three-peat for sure. I think should get a good trip, kind of sets him up for some good success.
Oh, definitely. Okay, television monitors again.
Can I give the write-up? Tell them what to watch for?
Oh, we got to listen to you again.
All right.
All right. Go ahead, Stretch.
All right. It's the 4-horse on the outside, sitting in about third, gets an even move, and then hangs on late, maybe.
All right, to your television monitors, here's Bricklayer.
Round about the quarter pole, 1 and 7 have been trading blows every step of the way and make noises threatening to put away hey Captain Jack. Meanwhile, Bricklayer's right behind that one, and on the far outside, Bourbon Aficionado and Burning Leaves finishing nicely with Mulberry Street. That's it for the white horse, and up goes Bricklayer at 2.5 to 1, leads it by 1.5. Burning Leaves 6 to 1, surging. Burning Leaves photo 2 and 4, and it's so tight.
Voice, or you're a Viking fan, that's the legendary Paul Allen calling that race.
Okay, next up, it's All Good Man, owned by Curtis Landry, trained by Gonzalo Anderson. Jockey Rashid Hughes will come to ride. It's All Good Man was bred right here in Canada, in Alberta. This horse had a great year last year, winning 3 out of 5 races, has a forward running style, has yet to win this year, but it had a really good race last time out at Century Mile in Edmonton.
Yeah, so you just read my notes?
Well,
okay, I'll
make
just,
it easy.
I'll add to something for that. That's just the type of horse this is. Always puts this horse in a good position. I like that the jockey will have multiple options, whether he can go to the lead or sit just off. So also has 3 lifetime wins.
Okay, you want to set up the replay here?
I do. So this one,
Okay.
he was much the best. He went to the lead and just kind of drew away, total control.
It's All Good Man to your television monitors.
Silkstone starting to run from the rear of the field. It's All Good Man. Try to get away. It's All Good Man by 3. Still fighting the good fight. Jump the Q is second and cutting into the margin somewhat. Then BB's Wildfire in Silkstone. It's All Good Man still with a 3-length advantage. 46 flat for the half. It's All Good Man and Dane Nelson setting sail for home. It's All Good Man by 4 lengths now on Jump the Q. It's All Good Man. Went to the front, did not look back. He wins the CTHS sales stake as favored. Second was Jump the Q. Third was BB's Wildfire.
Next up, Lieutenant Norm, owned by Drop-In Racing, trained by Steve Keplin Jr., jockey Sven Balrup. Lieutenant Norm was running at Turf Paradise before arriving at Assiniboia Downs, has had success, winning 2 here already in 5 starts, only missing the board once, and ran a very game second in the Derby trial behind Mr. Phillip.
Yeah, so Norm and I go way back, first name basis. Anyway,
Well, that's because usually you cannot pronounce the name.
names. But so anyway, I did take him on both his starts, like how his running style. The horse continues to improve. That two back, the replay that we're going to see, did you take that horse that race?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so can I set up the replay?
Sure, go ahead.
So obviously we've seen how good a race caller Kurt is. And if you listen carefully, so this horse comes off the rail, makes a big move. His voice kind of goes down ever so slightly because he knew I had that horse and his horse has been second. So he cheers as loud as ever, but you can see. Go ahead.
All right, to your television monitors, Lieutenant Norm.
Lieutenant Norm on the rail. Back in third, valid defense. Trying to make a wide move. That's Green Amazon and Silver Jaguar. They hit the head of the lane. They have 48 and 3. Diamond Concerto with the lead. Clear running room for Lieutenant Norm, who now collars Diamond Concerto. And a late run from Valid Defense. A 16th of a mile to go. And Lieutenant Norm, the favorite, gets it done. Second best to Valid Defense, Green Amazon.
Next up, Lucky Appeal. This will be the David against the Goliath. One of two horses owned by Henry Witt Jr., trained by Lee Delaron. Jockey Arthur Badu. Lucky Appeal did win one race in its lifetime. It was at Sam Houston Racetrack, only going 5.5 furlongs. 9 furlongs is the Derby distance. The probable odds on this horse are 50 to 1. But in the Kentucky Derby, if you go back to 2005, Giacomo won at 50 to 1. Mind That Bird in 2009 won at 50 to 1. And in 1913, Donerail won at 91 to 1.
Yeah, so I like this horse's last race. Really, the jockey Arthur made a nice move, tried him to send him, went to the lead. Yes, didn't win the race, but certainly battled. And I expect after that race, the horse is going to improve, kind of sets him up for some success today. The replay you're going to watch, which is a really good replay, is the 7 horse sitting in dead last, makes an outside move, and then rallies late to get up. So it shows how much talent this horse has.
And again, to your television monitors, here is Lucky Appeal.
Back to the trailer, Lucky Appeal, who's 8 lengths off the lead. The Asmussen pair go on with it on the front end. Flotation Station and Copper Echo are together past the 3/8 peg. They're 2 lengths in front of Cat Code. Drinking Thing is asked to go on the outside in 4th. Lucky Appeal will take the scenic route. Between horses fighting on comes Deacon Jones, and at the back of the pack, Axis of Evil, top of the stretch. Flotation Station and Copper Echo are together off the far turn. Flotation Station is shaken up on the lead by Stuart Elliott. Copper Echo trying to press by, unable to so far. Lucky Appeal down the center of the track. Axis of Evil up the inside. Flotation Station, all hands on deck. Lucky Appeal is getting closer. Copper Echo fights on. Axis of Evil, a late lunge. The outside Lucky Appeal up in time over Flotation Station.
Next up, Magnolia Speed, owned by Mike Powers, trained by Lee Delaron. Jockey Dane Dawkins will be in the saddle. Magnolia Speed came from Fauner Park in Nebraska and instantly made his presence felt, running second in an allowance race, came back in the Bobby Q and was able to run down a horse that had not lost as a 2-year-old, and the horse has been running well all year long.
Yeah, good call. 3 lifetime wins. We've backed this horse a few times. And then last out, this horse went the mile for the first time. I think that was a great move by the jockey to get this horse ready for it. Clearly needed that race. I think the horse should improve going a little bit longer and should be ready to go. In the replay, you're going to see it's just what Kurt mentioned, how we ran down the lone speed. And if you play ASD on the hot days, it's hard to run down that leading horse that gets the lone speed, but this one did it.
To your television monitors, Magnolia Speed.
In an opening quarter of 23-2. Now making a move, Magnolia Speed all out in second, Lieutenant Norm in third, and Thirsty Baby coming up the rail. They hit the head of the lane, and it's Can You Hear Me running the win streak on the line. Magnolia Speed too wide. These two coming to the 16th pole on the outside. Magnolia Speed is going to take the Bobby Q.
Next up will be McEwen, owned by All for One Stables, Bet Holtman, Oslin Bell, and Tom Payne. Trained by Shelley Brown, the jockey Ronaldo Cumberbatch. McEwen, in the 2 lifetime starts, was first off in Minnesota at Canterbury, got a horrible trip there, and then first time out again, got a horrible trip at Assiniboia Downs to run 4th, but has put together 2 back-to-back wins, and this is definitely a longer shot that could get it done in the Derby.
Yeah, only 4 starts. You mentioned about the trouble on the first 2. If you've ever watched replays, you might want to watch to see why both Kurt and I like that. Last race really impressed me, going the 2 turns. It was just so impressive. Grabbed the lead and then basically didn't look back. In the replay coming up, you're gonna see that on the lead, horses are gonna come to him, and then jockey says, "Let's go," and then you can watch the strides just lengthen as he pulls away.
To your monitors, McEwen.
And McEwen control in the front end, and still with horse as Antonio Whitehall looks in behind and hits ahead of the lane with the lead by 3. On the inside, I Love My Life, Valid Defense is going to try and make a wide move, but McEwen is now up by 5 and totally in control. It's all going to be McEwen in here. Late rally by Green Amazon.
Now, a neat thing in that replay, you've seen jockey Antonio Whitehall peek between his legs at the horses behind him. Anytime I'm betting on a speed horse and the jockey does that, they win. What do you say, Stretch? 90% of the time?
Oh, for sure.
All right, on to the next one. This is the Manitoba bred No Show, No Call, owned by Staff Max Stable and Club 3D Stable, trained by Mike Taphorn with jockey Ronald Alley. This horse had winter conditioning down at Tampa, but made his presence felt immediately, storming from well back in the field to draw off to win easily by 2 lengths, then a hard-fought second, and then 3 wins in a row. A little bit of a wonder horse. Manitoba breds have won the Manitoba Derby only 3 times. Stretch, could this be the 4th?
Yeah, very, very much can be. Yeah, 4 wins. This horse has the most wins in the field of 4 to 5 at ASD. First race surprised me. Kurt was on that horse and kind of liked the horse. Next race, when it lost,
when I pick a winner, it's only kind of like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next race just ran out of ground in the second, and then the last 3 starts is basically evening workouts, kind of toyed with the field. What you're going to see in the replay here is the 4 horse. Watch the move on the turn, on how easily he makes it look good. Opens up and had so much horse, the jockey just geared down late.
To your television monitors, this is No Show, No Call.
Now No Show, No Call takes over as the leader. Silver Jaguar. They're in second. LM Tucker making a bid. 3 wide in third. And from the back, here comes Moonman Rules. 47 seconds, a half mile. And No Show, No Call exploded and is now up by double digits. Probably about 12, a 16th of a mile to go. It's all No Show, No Call, destroying them. A late rally. Moonman Rules for second.
Now, if you're ever betting on horse racing, that's the number you want to see in front by that many lengths instead of the come from behind and get up by a nose. I like my horse winning by 10. But it never happens.
You get full credit on calling out the distance of victory. You
Yeah,
called it. It was
I
12,
nailed
and
that one,
and that's
eh?
what the charts put down.
Well, you know, I have been out here forever. So, all right, on to our last but not least, Rousset, owned by Henry Witt Jr. This is his second in the Derby. trained by Mark Sims Jr. and jockey Praven Badri, the leading rider here at Assiniboia Downs, will be in the saddle. Rousset, another sharp claim for $30,000 in Kentucky at Churchill Downs. Then they went over to Ellis Park, also in Kentucky, and they ran on the turf, which is grass racing, and was very respectable in there. Only got beat by 5 3/4 lengths. This is a horse that seems loving the distance of 1 1/8 and will be one of the probable favorites.
No, yeah, I agree with you. It was a very sharp claim. Any win, whenever you win at Churchill, that's a solid win there for sure. I do like when I'm handicapping and betting on horses, the turf to dirt angle is always good, can set the horse up for a top effort there. We'll go to the replay. It's the one horse in the blue silks. You're going to see the horse kind of battles between horses, is always tough there, and then kind of takes over and keeps going. So I like how that horse finished up.
To your television monitors, Rousset.
Round the far turn, Rousset comes on through to take an arrow lead. Here comes Gotta Have Dreams, 3 wide and revving up, and Yell County fighting on down toward the rail. Sagittarius is right in behind Horses, needs to find a way through. Fear of Union dives down toward the rail. Active Duty with a wide trip. Furlong to go. It is still Rousset. Rousset the leader heading for the final 16th. Gotta Have Dreams fully extended. Fear of Union dives to the inside. Final try there. It's Rousset in front. Fear of Union flying finish. Here's the wire. Rousset holds on.
And that is your field for the 76th running of the Manitoba Derby. Back over to you, Darren.
Well done, gentlemen. Thorough insights for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to complete the official draw for post positions. For that honor, we're pleased to call back up here Mr. Jerry Sewell, President and CEO of Manitoba Liquor Lotteries, joined by Mr. Kurt Jansen, General Manager, Commercial Gaming, also with Manitoba Liquor Lotteries. Gentlemen. Rousset.
9.
Number 9, Rousset has the outside post position number 9. Magnolia Speed is next.
1.
The rail, number 1 for Magnolia Speed. It's all good, man.
7.
Lucky number 7, or so he hopes on Monday. Number 7, it's all good, man. Lucky Appeal is next.
Number 2.
Number 2. Number 2 is Lucky Appeal. Awesome Road will race from post position number 8. Awesome Road, current morning line favorite, post position number 8. Bricklayer, post position number 3, number 3, Bricklayer. It is a little humid, yes. McEwen will
5.
race from post position number 5. Number 5 for McEwen. And then there were 2. No Show, No Call, the only Manitoba bred in the field, breaks from post position number 4. Very good spot. No Show, No Call, post position number 4. Last but not least, Lieutenant Norm
6.
breaks from post position number 6. Thank you, gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, there is your lineup for Monday. So with that, the field is now set to leave the starting gate Monday night for the 76th running of the Manitoba Derby. To the media again, both myself, Sharon Gullius, would be pleased to make any introductions for some of the Horse Connection principals who join us here today. So please feel free to reach out. It's now time to taste the offerings of our executive chef, Mike Jones, and his team against the backdrop of the continued soothing sounds of Winnipeg jazz legend, Mr. Wally Larson. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call tables. We ask you to approach from both the north and the south, and then we'll keep calling tables. So we'll start with 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 30. 16 to 23 and 30, please.